Good morning, everybody. Hi there. Oh, wow, there's lots of you here already. Welcome. I'm just going to switch my glasses. Actually, these are better. These are my reading glasses. And reading all your comments is probably better to wear them. How you doing this morning? Right. Kaz is in South Yorkshire. It's lovely and sunny here as well. Yes. It's quite a surprise. And it's record-breaking temperatures across Europe. Oh dear, what is it with February at the moment? Starting to knit with stretchy knitting yarn. That's an interesting thing because I've been knitting with cotton since November and I was knitting with wool this week. I'll show you in a second. And that felt odd because cotton hasn't got such a stretch to it. And then with wool, I was going, oh, my tension even? How's it going? And I was just making sure that the tension works differently to how I would knit with cotton. So it was a really interesting just to notice that change because the wool I was knitting with has definitely got a really nice bounce to it. Heather is in Maine. Hi there. The moths. Words can inspire. Janny, hi there from Cornwall. Your scrunchies kit is on its way. You may even have it today, quite possibly. Hi, Carol. Hi, Heather. I live in Maine, which is the most northeasterly state. Yes. I bet it's cold there. But if you're on the coast, then it may just be calmer. Sister Carol will be joining us from Ontario. Oh, cool. Exciting. Good morning, Cara from the Hooting Pirates. Carol Wolf is knitting a mug cozy at the minute. Cool. This is the one I finished this week. I was knitting it yesterday. Kim's here. Terry's here. Hi, Terry. Jackie. Hi. Terry, I can still get you a kit if you want to message me. I know you're in the States, aren't you? Hi there from Australia. Oh, wow. What time is it with you? It's coming up for 11 o'clock here. So what is it? Midnight or 10? I'm confused. Right. So this is the mug cozy that I was knitting yesterday, last week, and I showed you when I finished it. I put 3 buttons on it. There you go. And that looks quite impressive, actually. You may have seen it on the image, the thumbnail for this video. There you go. Dino is knitting a hat. Linda is knitting a hat for Minnie Dashwood. Oh, cool. It's almost 9 o'clock in the evening. Right. It's confusing, isn't it? And then suddenly all the clocks change the other way around and it's completely the other direction. Patricia. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Patricia. I always look forward to your videos when I'm stuck. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Jackie's knitting a jacket for the summer for a granddaughter. That's nice. Yes. Summer cover-ups are so important. And the new patterns, you'll start seeing them now. I know some of the yarn manufacturers and the pattern publishers have just been a bit behind in the last 6 months. The summer ones that were coming out for winter last July, August, they were like a month behind. I think they're going to be staggered a bit more at the moment. I can't imagine what it's been like getting models to wear things and take photographs. That must have been chaotic this last 6 months. So yeah, it's going to be, I think, a slow release of patterns, but who knows, that may be the new norm instead of here it is all at once. So we're doing well. You've got a lot of knits on your needles. Anyone else want to tell me what they're knitting? And I'll tell you what I'm knitting. Oh dear, Terry's had a kidney infection. Oh, so sorry about that. That can't be nice. Talking about being sick. Since last Friday, I've had a bit of a croaky throat. So I may not be as long here today. And it was okay, but I was filming on Sunday as well. I did a lot of talking last Friday because I had a call in the afternoon as well. And then earlier this week, it was starting to get better, and I choked on something. I kind of like, when it goes down the wrong way, nothing really ridiculous. I was coughing and coughing and coughing, and I could just feel my vocal cords going, ouch, don't do that, Hannah. So, may not be here as long today. Have I ever knitted? Wolf Carol is asking me, have I ever knitted with 50% cotton and 50% acrylic? Probably. I wouldn't go out and pick it now. I would pick cotton merino if I wanted something with that strength and softness. I would imagine it's quite a good yarn. I mean, obviously, you know me. I don't pick synthetics anymore. The acrylic will give it the strength and the stretch as well, and the cotton will mean that it's soft, and it gives it the kind of heat regulation that you get from natural fibers. Linda, hi Linda. Had to pop out for a minute. Hubby's had too much coffee and can't stop chatting. Oh, you got socks on the needles today. That's cool. The Nick has just had to go out. It's almost 11 o'clock. I looked out the window and I said, Nick, isn't the car supposed to be round at the garage today for its MOT? Oh, I completely forgot. So he's just doing that now. Oh, you have to manage your husbands, don't you? Oh dear. Words can inspire. I'm rather full on meltdown with my care role for elderly parent. I've not had any me time this week to put anything on my needles. It's a really interesting thing, isn't it? What lockdown has just changed the relationships that we've got. So, I mean, maybe you had care support before lockdown, but it's a difficult time at the moment. Just giving people roles in bigger ways that maybe they wouldn't have been before. Kim, my sock needles have arrived. That's exciting. And are they double pointed? Are they sock needles where they're the corded circular needles with the smaller tips? Tell us more, Kim. I want to know. Let me show you what I've had on my needles this week. And this is because the first sample I knitted was the only colour that I had, and I knitted it in the autumn. So I decided to knit up another colour in this scarf. So this is grey and purple, and this is the big long scarf. If you go and find it in the shop, you can find the pattern or the kit. But there you go. It really is warm, to say the least. So this is in grey and purple, and the one that I'd knitted before was in a dark blue and orange. Nick and I need to go out and do photos. We were going to do photos, obviously, since Christmas, but lockdown, it's stay at home and just stay at home. So we will go and do photos at some point. So I wanted another colourway of this to take photos of. It's so cozy. I wanted a long Doctor Who's kind of scarf, but make it easier for beginners so it's not change colour, change colour, change colour, change colour, change colour, change colour, like every couple of inches. So this is 3 balls of one colour and 1 ball of another colour. And of course you can go in the shop and say I want it all one colour and just pick the same colour for both options. So this it's a lovely knit, and like I said, it was really interesting to knit with wool, a really bouncy yarn like this, having knitted with cotton for so many months with barely a break. And I have knitted a little bit with felted tweed as well, but that's quite it's a thin yarn and it hasn't got quite so much bounce as some wools do, and this has certainly got a big bounce to it, so that's really nice. I love garter stitch. I love garter stitch. I love garter stitch. Oh dear. But knit every single stitch, knit every single row. That's what it is. And that's what there's something about garter stitch that just I think it just I love the bumps because you actually see what's happening when you knit. So that's that. Very nice. Very nice. So it's really lovely and warm, and yeah, probably don't need it at the moment. Who knows? In 2 weeks' time, you know what the weather's like in this country. We could completely go downhill and have snow for Easter. Oh dear. Ah, thank you. Yes, gorgeous scarf. Ah, yeah. Go and get the kit. You pick your colours. There's actually. Let me show you the colours that we've got because we haven't got all. We haven't got all of the colours that Rowan does for Big Wool, but we've got 3 different blues actually. We've got this lovely rose pink, and we've got this is called Concrete, and that's a paler blue. It's like a denim blue. And then you can see the dark midnight blue. And then obviously you can see the purple there and the grey. So I think those are all the colours we've got. But they all kind of integrate together. That's why I picked them all out. Jackie just got some merino wool. New to merino. It's amazing. You'll never go back. What is it like to knit with? How do I care for them in planning on knitting socks? Merino wool is so soft. It's lovely, lovely to knit with. And merino cotton is lovely to knit with. I use it for babies. See, that's the one thing merino is good for. If you have sensitive skin and you can't wear wool, I have sensitive skin and I struggle wearing wool. If I have a t-shirt on instead of a long sleeve with this lamb's wool cardigan, or even if I haven't got something high enough on my neck with a cardigan like this, then I struggle. I can itch, especially if I wear it for a couple of days at a time with the same problem. Then I realise, oh, why am I itchy? There isn't something between the cardigan and the top in my skin. So merino wool is a great way to cross those barriers. So yeah, just recognize that that's gonna absolutely feel absolutely amazing. It's difficult. I haven't investigated sock knitting enough to give you a great deal of advice, but yeah, wash them carefully. It will depend because some merinos I've seen are superwash. So do check whenever you're wondering about how to care for something when you've knitted it. Look on the ball band, and the ball band of the yarn will tell you what to do. It will tell you how to look after it once it's been knitted up. Janie, thank you. Lovely scarf. I'm afraid I can only do purl and stocking stitch, but I love them both. Very basic knitter. Yeah. Garter stitch and stocking stitch. Simple. Christina, good morning, Hannah. Good morning, Christina. Lovely to see you again. I'm whizzing through my knitting with all your support. Great tips on lockdown. I'm so glad to be a knitter. Yes. I did mean to mention at this top of the hour, top of the call, I won't be able to do another one. I've kind of on Monday I made some decisions once we'd seen what was going on with the UK and lockdown and everything. And we are going to slowly come out of it. It's going to take a while. And I knew because of that, I just couldn't carry on for the next 2 months. Like I said, I need to rest my throat. And I want to do other things. And I will be focusing on the knit along for the next 2 weeks. So the next 2 weeks, I will have one call every week for the knit along, and that's exclusive. So it's not going to be live on YouTube for everyone to join in. It's going to be elsewhere, and anyone who wants to can come on video and join me, or you can just chat in the text. So if you want to join the knit along, then that's how we can do live videos together over the next 2 weeks. Then after that, I'm going to be doing live videos in April for another reason, and I'll share more about that in March. But if you want to chat and get some questions answered over the next 2 weeks, then it's the knit along that you need to be part of. It's the kit's still available. There are some yarns that are running out. So if you know you want some colours and you just haven't quite decided yet, then go and have another look, and you can pick them out and make sure you get what you want. And of course, you can get the pattern as well. What I will promise is if you get it today or tomorrow morning, then we'll pack it up and Nick will take it to the post office and we'll use first class without any extra charge. But obviously, if you're outside of the UK, then it will take longer. First class Royal Mail will mean you get it Monday or Tuesday, so you're not too late to get going. But yes, outside of the UK, I've looked at the British Royal Mail, and they haven't got any major problems with dispatching or moving stuff around the world at the moment. The only problems that happen are if there's an issue with weather, like snow or something. So that's about it. I think there was one issue is Canada. One of their big postal sorting centres has got an outbreak of COVID, so they're working more slowly than they normally would. So that was a big come and join the knit along if you want to join us on a Friday morning, and it will be this time next Friday, and then it will be in the afternoon the Friday afterwards. Yeah, Linda, garter stitch. Yeah, planning a next jumper in garter stitch. Oh, nice and cozy. Yes. Amanda, hi Amanda, good morning. Plugging you into the car so I can listen on the way to work. Oh, crikey, that's scary. As long as you don't have the video playing, I'm happy with that. I don't want to cause you to have any problems in the car. Linda, quick and probably daft question. If the pattern is for stocking stitch, while knitting it in garter stitch, change the size tension. It will change the tension. When you're knitting in garter stitch, you're discarding stitches and you've got the yarn running over different sides of the knit stitch. So there are tutorials, various tutorials in my channel where I talk about the knit stitch and the purl stitch and how they work differently. So here we have yarn running over one side and then yarn running over the other side. When it's stocking stitch, such as with this hat, because we're purling, we're holding the yarn at the front, and then when we're knitting, we're holding the yarn at the back. So you can see that it's smoother on one side and bumpy on the other. So when all of the yarn is held on one side, it kind of elongates it and makes it stretch a bit so that the rows can sit next to each other. With this, they're on opposite sides, so they do bunch together more, and it's not as easy. I mean, look at that. I can stretch it and I can scrunch it and stretch it and scrunch it. So what you will need to do is maybe do a test square, maybe just start knitting and see how long it will be as you start knitting. The thing is, you'll probably need more yarn. If you're using a stocking stitch pattern but you want to knit it in garter stitch, you will very likely need more yarn because you need more rows to get to the same distance of your knitting. Width-wise, it's not really going to change it, but row-wise, then yes. I've got a large roll of cotton yarn, says Words Can Inspire. I want to make a scarf for a goddaughter, but it's so fine I made up of 3 fine strands. Oh yes, You mentioned this, didn't you? Can't imagine how I'll knit with it. You see, you really need to come on the membership knit along, knit and natter. Actually, that's tomorrow afternoon, and show it to me so I can help you. Because if I can't see it, then I can't give you any advice. It's yeah, it's difficult because I can't see what you're talking about. So you may want to knit 2 strands together at once. Don't know. It's a difficult thing. Test it out, do some swatches, see what happens. Janie, my mini dusk. I did German as GCSE. I can say this. Ducks und love merino. Yeah, they're very spoiled, aren't they? My goodness. Let me just double check. Linda from Australia. Kim, I always have to wear something under a wool sweater. Yeah, it's just one of those things. And then in the summer, I do let this kind of drag into the summer, and I will pick it up sometimes if it's a kind of a chilly, breezy day. But generally speaking, I can only wear it for one day with a t-shirt underneath, and then I have to go, okay, back to the cotton cardigan. I've got some cotton, I've got some bamboo cardigans, but that's about it for the summer. Or I have to wear a shirt over a t-shirt. Yeah, I miss you lot on a Friday morning as well. It's 8 weeks, so you can go back and watch the first one. Or indeed, join the knit along, and then you'll be here. Hi, Mandela. Yeah, don't worry, being late. It's 20 minutes in, you're fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good idea. Linda wants to join the knit along. Can't get the wool on the gang wool here. I can post it to you. There isn't a big problem with Australia Post. Not a really big problem. The Royal on the Mail, Royal on the Mail, Royal Mail has said that it's 3 to 5 days anywhere in the world, which seems crazy to me. But basically, it goes to an airport and it gets on a plane, and it lands wherever it needs to go. So in so many ways, it's not surprising. Australia, it's got to go to Singapore and then Australia, obviously for refueling. But yeah, 3 to 5 days. And I've put 7 to 10 days on the site, I think, just because we need to pack it up. But I'm usually packing them up within a few hours of your ordering it. So yeah, you could definitely get the kit by the end of next week, very likely. So if you want to do that, then do that. Otherwise, yeah, get the pattern and knit it up with anything that you've got in the stash. It's an Aran yarn. So you'll be using 5.5mm needles. So there you go. And if you knit it with merino, babies will love you. And if you knit it with merino, then it's ideal for a lap blanket for yourself as well. It's a brilliant size for a lap blanket. I love wearing blankets, using blankets on the sofa and having them on my lap diagonally. It feels so luxurious. Linda, no, it won't matter if you can't attend all the videos if you're doing shift work. They will be there for replays. Forever and a day, you can come back and watch it. So if you want to re-knit it at a later date, come and watch the lives again while you're sitting there clicking your needles. There you go. You're welcome, Linda. That's fine. Linda says, I'm secretly looking forward to knitting on 5mm needles rather than the 2mm I'm currently on. Yeah, that's a long knit. Please don't tell me you're knitting a jumper on 2mm needles. I bet you're knitting socks, aren't you? But yeah, it does make a difference, and it's really inspiring to say, oh, look, that's another 10 centimeters today. Yes. I need a drink. Talking of scrunching, that's a question from, is it a question? No. Words can inspire. No, it isn't a question. Sorry. I'm all up in my head there. Talking of scrunching, I've ordered your kit for knitting hair scrunchies. Yes, it's on the way. I've just moved, so when I get my internet connection indoors, I'll definitely try to join the knitting membership group. Yeah, do join. We're starting with tomorrow's February meetup is tomorrow afternoon. That'd be great to have you as part of it. That's my one worry. I know we're going to have to move at some point because this studio is not big enough to build a business that I would like. We'll have to move at some point, and that is, oh crikey, we'll have to wait 3 weeks to get a fiber connection for the internet. And I do lots of lives and upload YouTube videos. I'll have to do it in the middle of the summer, I think. So we'll have to move, definitely have to move in the middle of the summer so that there's not so much knitting going on and people are on holiday. And that means that BT can come and sort my internet out within a few days of me asking for it. Kim, knit my sock needles are wooden DPNs Knit Pro 2.25. Cool. Knit Pro, yay. Double pointed needles. Oh, well done knitting on them. I think if I was to knit socks, I wouldn't have the confidence to go onto DPNs. Well, I can and I have. I know it hasn't happened in the recent past, but I know in the past when I was knitting with DPNs, there'd kind of be a gusset. Let's call it that. Like it looked like a ladder, you get a ladder in your tights. Looked like a ladder in between the two needles. As I'd move from one needle to the next, it looked like there was kind of a ladder, because the tension between the two needles as I was moving across wasn't good enough. I remember that, but in the recent past when I've done that, that hasn't happened so much. Oh dear. Linda is knitting a hat for sausage dogs, and they are on the moment, they are 2 mm, but I knitted them a jumper on 2 mm. That is a long knit. At least it wasn't a jumper for you. Oh my goodness. Wow. Good for you. Well done. Tiny circulars changed my sock knitting life. Yeah, the small tips, it's a brilliant innovation in knitting needles. I definitely say it's definitely worthwhile. It's if you want to try and stop knitting and you're just curious about whether it might feel easier, then just get one pair and have a go. I've seen people on Instagram, on YouTube, online, everywhere else saying that these are kind of a real shift and they make it a lot easier. But yeah, and even if you have one long end and one short end, then it can really help as well. Linda's basically been on 3 mm DPNs for 2 years. Oh, crikey. Well, no, well done. I mean, when I was a teenager and even knitting as a child and into my 20s, definitely, everything I knitted was on basically the 2 pairs of needles that I had. Which were 3.25 and 4. And that was it. Or in the UK, size 8 and size 10. And have I even got them here? Yes, I have. I bet some of you will go, oh, I had them. I recognise them because they are very obviously the British. These are the Aero England needles, those ones. These, I don't think they've got a brand name on them. They've just got an 8 on the end. But it was so British, or just so 1980s to have metal needles. I think these were just spares from my mum's knitting kit. So they became mine. And I just used them forever and a day. Everything I knitted, whether it was like 10 stitches or 60, I used these needles. And yeah, I didn't really think to knit with anything else. So the patterns that I got fitted these needles. So I've not really started knitting with chunky yarn probably until 15 years ago, even if that. And then I did use Aran worsted weight yarn um, earlier than that, probably 20 odd years ago. But yeah, it's weird that it's just become fashionable, I think, to knit with thicker yarns um, in the recent past, and thin needles were what you knitted with. So um, I think when I found chunky yarn and started knitting with it more, it became an obsession. Wow, it goes so quickly. Linda's been knitting socks on 2 needles forever. Okay, you're moving on to DPNs. Good. Yes. And Linda, I can't get the hang of circular needles. Tension seems to be all wrong. Go and have a look if you want to at the Circle Skills course, because that will just give you all of the techniques if you just are a bit off about how you knit with the techniques. I use the magic loop, and I think I use the magic loop in a very odd way as well. And I show you how I do that in the Circle Skills course. So I'm very casual about knitting with circular needles, and I just get on with it. So, you know my knitting style. Well, that's easier, so I'll just do it like that. There you go. I knitted in a lot in the 80s as a kid and teen using metal needles. Yeah, I've not used round needles yet. It's not something that you have to do. There you go. And DPN is double pointed needles. So there you go. That kind of thing. And you use either 4 or 5 of them to knit round in a circle. And I do show you them in the Circle Skills course as well. If you saw my Instagram stories this week, you will know that I am slowly moving into organizing the studio. I've been saving up. This is pretty much the only room where we've got furniture that isn't bought for this room. I've got one item of furniture that I've bought for this room, and that's the chest of drawers there where I've got office stuff, books on the top, and lots of my knitted samples in the drawers. And we've basically got the printer sat on an old gate leg table. So it's pretty much pointless because there's a massive storage space underneath it, but we can't get to it because there's legs and there's gates underneath it. And it's all closed up, but we can't get to the space underneath it. And this is an old IKEA unit. Many of you may recognize it. But that doesn't use the best, make the best use of the space. And there's stuff on the top of it. So we're getting to a point where we need better organization in here. And that is one thing that we're going to do in here is over the next couple of months is sort this out. So yeah, that's going to be fun, and it's necessary. So you will very likely be part of the journey, and you'll see it moving as I do lives over the next few months, because like I said, I will be doing more lives over the next few months. So the first thing we've done, you may have seen on Instagram, is get a rug for the floor. I'll take another photo and I'll show you later. But yeah, that's a good choice. It's a completely different color. It's really light and bright. And as soon as I put it down and the other one went, I walked in here and put the light on in the evening. And I went, wow, it's so light in here. Makes a difference. So I'm really excited about that. And of course, it's made of wool. So that's that. And yes, we're starting to arrange the storage much better so that we've got better storage for the yarn and the needles, as you can see. Yeah, and the one thing that we're missing in the shop at the moment is blocking mats. So if you need blocking mats, we've got the pins, but we haven't got the blocking mats at the moment. Brexit is causing a big problem with imports. So the wholesalers I get my stuff from, they haven't been able to get it, and they're unlikely to be able to get them for 6 weeks or so. I'm searching for other things, and we'll just put it in the shop. I'm searching in other places to see whether I can find suppliers that have got them. But yeah, if you need blocking mats, we've got loads of pins, but we haven't got the mats at the moment. So this is a really interesting time at the moment because wool is taking long to get to us. Other supplies are taking long to get to us. So if you see stuff missing in the shop, that's very likely why, annoyingly. Oh dear, right. No more Brexit. Let's talk about something else. Linda says, I'm still knitting on needles passed on from my mum. Must be museum pieces by now. I love coloured vintage plastic needles too. I had some red plastic needles. They were so cute. They're 9mm. And Nick stamped on them or sat on them or something. That I know that it was in a bag and he did something to the bag and it snapped. Probably it was just too brittle in the first place, but it was such a shame. But they are vintage needles. Well, they were really enticing and exciting. Kim has a lot of metal needles, so they now use circular, and DPNs use the circular needles with flat knitting as well. Yes, a lot of people do, and that's what that's one of the options for knitting the knit along, is using a circular needle. Some people who've been getting the knit along have got these straight needles as well as the circulars, and that is a good idea if you want to start off the knit along on straight flat needles. Then that's a good idea, and then only as you get more stitches on the needle do you increase to double pointed, sorry, not double pointed, circulars. So yeah, that's an option as well. And you can just move up to a different needle as necessary as you go through the knit. So that's one thing that's useful. I remember I knitted a long shawl, really long triangle shawl, and I had like 4 pairs of needles going across the top because I didn't have any circular needles. I know I was in my 20s because I was still at my parents' place. And my dad came in and he saw what I was knitting. And I said, look, I've got 4 pairs of needles on this now. And he said, Grandma used to do that. So that was, oh, Grandma used to do that. So yeah, that's very obviously the orange and yellow colourway. We've still got lots of orange and lots of yellow, but we're running out of green. And there's only 2 more kits available in this, I think. Might be 3. So if you want this colourway, then it's leaving. And if you can if you want to, you can go and get another blanket which is all one colour and finish off the green wool, because there is enough to do one more blanket, so that would mean there's 3. But yeah, that's it for this colourway. Once the green's gone, I don't know when I'll be able to get more green. So there you go. Kim, thinking of signing up for the circular knitting course. Yeah, it could well help. Yeah. Dino, I love old needles. I have my great grandmother's needles from about 1930. I got some of my grandmother's needles and they're beautiful colours. Linda, sorry, I know this has been gone over before a lot. When does the knit along start? So we start knitting on Monday. The main tutorial is going live on YouTube on Tuesday, but as part of the knit along, you'll get it on Monday. You got the whole playlist that is attached to the you've got the whole playlist that's attached to the knit along with all of the mistakes videos and the links to the lives as well. So yeah, we start on Monday and we're going for 2 weeks. So that's the knit along. Oh, cool. Linda's signing up for the Circle Skills. Yay. Hi, Joe. Don't worry about being late. You know you can watch the replay. And I bet you've been homeschooling, haven't you? Mandala, I bought straight needles for the knit along with the intention of switching to circulars when it gets heavy. Yeah, perfect. Carol, how long will these lives last? Sorry if we've already answered, but I haven't been on the live for a minute. Yeah, okay. So this is the last live on YouTube for everybody. I was waiting for Monday this week to see what Boris would say. And I know we're moving out slowly, and we're not out of it yet, but this is the last lockdown live because next 2 weeks I want to focus on the knit along lives. They will both be on Fridays as well. Next week will be the Friday in the morning, and the week after that we'll have a live in the afternoon, UK time. So yes, we've got membership live tomorrow afternoon if you even want to join that. But basically, I'm then having a couple of weeks break, and there will be more lives, and I'll talk more about them in April as we move into April, and you'll understand why. But it's a journey and it's a phase. And looking out the window, it's nice and sunny. I'm thinking people will also want to be getting outside at this time of day as well. So as we're going to have lockdown, stay at home starting to be lifted, then it feels also that it's a good chance for people to start moving outside as well. So I can only do so many of these. But we've done 8 weeks. Can you believe it? It's been a great time. I've absolutely loved it. So I'm so grateful to have all of you join me. And so, like you say, thankful that we've had this Friday connection while it's been tough. Linda says, if I order in the shop, it won't get here, Australia, in time for the knit along start. It won't get with you for the start, but it will get with you during the knit along. So if you want the kit, then yes, you can get it. But you could also order the kit and I will send you the digital pattern. So you could at least have a look at it. And you'll be able to join the lives. And otherwise we can't predict exactly when it will get to you, but it will very likely get to you before the end of next week. Jackie, I have single pointed, double pointed circular needles and 2 9-inch sock circular. Fun goes with them. Sounds complicated. I hope they're not all in the same pattern. Oh, Linda, I will just say that this kit will be available forever and a day. But if you want to join the knit along, then you can get the pattern, like you said, knit with other stash yarn maybe, or get the kit. And yes, it will get to you. Carol, hi everyone from North Ontario. Hi. You might be somebody's sister. Are you somebody's sister? Yes, Heather's sister. Hi, Carol. You're very likely Heather's sister. Beverly, what's the best stitch to make with size 6 bulky yarn? I'm new to crocheting. Hi, good morning from Boston, Massachusetts. So we're knitting here. So it's difficult to say. You can do any stitch you like. I've done so many different stitches with bulky yarn. I've done fancy butterfly stitches, moss stitches, all sorts of things. It's your choice, it really is, and what you want to make. It will make a big difference on what it is that you want to make. Mandala, your 8 weeks have rekindled my love of knitting. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so thrilled. Yes, let's have a big show me in the comments what you've knitted over since Christmas over the last 8 weeks. Linda, I won't be behind in the knit along. I'm gonna sit here and say there is no behind in the knit along. If you're part of my email list, you will know I sent an email out yesterday, and that was one of the questions that I've had. How long does it take, and will I get behind? You don't have to finish it in 2 weeks. You don't have to start at the beginning, and you don't have to finish at the end. You knit at your own pace. And I've also had questions like, how long will it take me to knit the blanket? Everybody knits at different paces. Everybody knits not just because of their experience, but they might knit at a different pace because they're actually low energy one day, or they're in a different mood one day. So it really, really doesn't matter. It's about being together in the community, being together and saying we're all knitting the same thing, or we're all intending to knit the same if you haven't got the kit yet. And it's just you all know that we've loved being together for this, but we'll be together in a really bigger way because we're all knitting the same thing. That's what knit along's about. It's only here for 2 weeks because that's what I've put aside for it, and I need other weeks to do other things. So just feel that it's about being together as much as it is about knitting, and sharing all our downs and ups about knitting. It's all about asking questions and sharing which colours we're knitting with, and getting inspired by everyone else to keep on knitting, motivated to keep knitting as well. So the knit along, it's as much about the community as it is about the knitting. So that's a really big passion of mine, is that we do things together so that we lift the joy that's involved in it. Joe, I found something to do with a stashed cotton yarn. I will post pics on Facebook later. Good, looking forward to that. Linda, thank you for your lives. I know I haven't been able to join in the chat till tonight, but I really enjoyed watching the pre-plays. Great. Oh, that's cool. I'm excited. Yes, yes. There will be more lives, but like I said, they'll just be distributed a bit more out the time. Jackie, I'm going to miss Friday mornings. Yes. Thank you for being here, Jackie. You've been so consistent joining us and letting us know what you're knitting. Linda, I've really enjoyed being here for the last few weeks. Yes, I'm watching the others on the catch-up. Cool. I'm so glad I know people have been watching them after they've happened. So hi if you're on the replay. Hashtag replay in the comments. It's been great. Thank you. Yeah, you won't miss anything. No, not at all. Yes. Okay, everybody. What have you knitted since Christmas? What have you knitted in the last 8 weeks of our lockdown lives? Mandela, I have done 1.5 pairs of socks. Cool. A hat. And finished a child's jumper that's been hanging around for years. Yes, yes, yes. Round of applause. Round of applause. Words can inspire. I agree. You've rekindled and re-inspired my wish to knit. Oh, that's so exciting. Fabulous. Knitting gives so many benefits. Fabulous. It was great to have your channel recommended to me by the algorithm. Yeah, YouTube can do some things right. Carol, I'm always on the live anyways, but I rewatch it anyway. Yeah, when I've been on lives with other people, I've sat there and gone, actually, it was so good, I'm going to watch the replay. Linda, since Christmas, I've knitted a hat, 3 pairs of socks, 1 pair of bed socks, 1 hat, 6 dishcloths, 1 hat, and a jumper. That's amazing. Now that I've added that lot up, I'm shocked. I'm not surprised. So am I. Okay, 1 hat, not 2. Fabulous. Congratulations. All that knitting. And just imagine all those people are going to love those things that you've knitted. Brilliant, brilliant. And I bet some of them are for yourself as well. Joe has knitted 2 child's jumpers, cardigans, and been doing a mitre square blanket that's ongoing. Brilliant. Love it. Words Can Inspire has knitted wrist warmers and bobble hat. That's so cool. Fabulous. Everyone has knitted different things, knitted different amounts of things. And again, we're not behind, we're not less than, we're not comparing to each other. We're just knitters sitting side by side. Yeah, those needles are smoking. You're on fire. Okay, and Linda has knitted a UFO, finished a UFO. Good. Yes. Unfinished object, started another jumper, and after the New Year video, decided to unravel it. I wasn't enjoying knitting it. That's fabulous because you made a decision. It's so difficult sometimes to just have it sit there and go, I've just put so much time into it. I've put so much effort into it. The yarn costs so much money. And then you make a decision and it feels so much better, doesn't it? It's like a weight off your shoulders. Brilliant. And 2 hats for the sausage dogs. Very important. I bet. Well, are you in Australia? Has it actually been cold enough for them to need hats? It could be in a couple of months' time. Jackie, hat, matching fingerless gloves, Dolly's clothes, Mrs. Weasley jumper. Oh, that was amazing. Loved that. Thank you for sharing the photo and a current jacket. Love, love, love. Oh, Joe did cables for the first time with a tutorial. Yes, that's so fabulous. That is something that it's a brilliant next step for beginner knitters. Once you got used to the knit stitch and the purl stitch and you're happy switching between them, then cables can be a great next step. So certainly, I'm proud of you, Joe. Brilliant. Carol Lupin. I really love knitting and crocheting amigurumi. That's exciting. Fabulous. Have you been knitting them and making them since Christmas? Linda, not cold enough, but just cute. I'm sure they are very cute. Share some photos with us. If you're on Facebook, I always post every Friday to say, what have you knitted this week? Share some photos of your dachshunds in those fabulous coats and hats, please. Please. We want to see those. Or tag me on Instagram if you're there. Words can inspire. It's really helped my mental health, depression, anxiety, and one feels one is living in the now, the moment by knitting. So, so true. I'm so pleased that it's helped because it has been difficult. I know people have been lonely. My brother's by himself, and he'd struggled to even find anyone to bubble with. So he's just managed to go out every day for a walk, and that's pretty much been his therapy for the last the last year, really. Let's face it. He loves traveling, so his ambition and his passion in life has been completely cut. So it's been a real struggle for people. I feel so fortunate that I've got Nick in the same house as me because the loneliness hasn't been quite so prominent. But yeah, I can't imagine anyone who's alone or struggled in the last year. So, so difficult. Carol, yes, since Christmas. Only recently picked up crochet. So that's the amigurumi. Cool. Again, share some photos with us. I really, really want to see. Kim, I have knitted a colour work. This is the one thing with this platform, which you can't share photos. I've knitted a colour work patchwork cushion cover, a Christmas ball, and a hat. Nice one, Kim. Dino, there's an Etsy shop called Lucky Fox Knits. She has a lot of patterns for sausage dogs. They are too cute to not knit. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Those patterns, they just keep dragging you in. But I bet they do love. Bet they do love. Bet they do love it when you knit them something new. Carol, so I do a good mix between crochet and knit. Yeah, fabulous. Joe, I have a crocheted octopus I knitted my son. A crocheted octopus I knitted my son. You're completely. How can you crochet something when you're knitting it? He's 4 now, and it still has no face because he stole it before I could finish it. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, do try and post some pictures. You might be asleep by the time the pic comes up, but do share it tomorrow morning on that post in Facebook. Oh, that's exciting. Joe's BSL sign name is crochet, even though I prefer to knit. Oh, cool. I did. I I had a lot of hearing and ear. What's the word? Ear infections. Real pain when I was a child. So my sister and I did learn sign language because sometimes just anything that was too loud was really annoying, and I would struggle to hear stuff. So I pretty much learned to lip read a lot of the time as well. So we did learn quite a bit of sign language, but that's really interesting. Yeah, we're sharing here as a community, aren't we? Joe, yes, I can tell that you prefer knitting. The octopus is crocheted. You messed it up there, didn't you? Right. Is there anything else I need to share with you today? If you were looking for those courses, then do take a look. It's academy.knitwithhannah.co.uk, and you can get the links up in the tabs on knitwithhannah.co.uk. Also, I've just found knitwithhannah.com and knitwithhannah.uk. So if you put it in by mistake as knitwithhannah.com, then you'll go right to the correct website. So I've just organised that because I wonder whether people were going wrong and not finding my email, my website when they were actually looking for it. So if you're looking for those courses, then they're there. At the moment, the shop is separate to the main website. Again, there are links right through to it on the main website, but it's a subdomain shop.knitwithhannah.co.uk. That's where you'll find the kits for the knit along. And if you're looking for the membership, we're going live tomorrow afternoon with a knit and natter. Then that is over knitwithhannah.co.uk/invite. So do come and join the membership if you'd like to join us tomorrow afternoon. And like I said, with the knit along and with the membership, you can come on video with me. It's not compulsory, it's a complete option. You can come on video with me and show me what you've got, ask me about any yarn or any knitting, and share how you're doing. And it just means that I can get to know your knitting better. And then if you ask me any questions in the future, it's easier for me to answer. So that is almost an hour, can you believe, of our very last lockdown live for the moment. I'm hoping we won't have to do a lockdown knitting live ever again. I think you're probably gonna high five me there as well and say yes, me too. So Jackie, I've just got new patterns moments book, already seen new projects. Oh, you're getting organized. Yes, Carol, what is the membership? It is a monthly knit and natter. And like I said, the difference to what we're doing here is that it's on a different platform, it's completely private, and you can come on video, ask me questions, show me what you're knitting. And we knit it chat in the chat as well. Texting like we do here. So yeah, join a membership. That's £15 a quarter or £50 for the year. So take your pick, and then you'll have every month come and join us, and it is tomorrow afternoon. Right. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. Yes, it's been fabulous. Absolutely loved it these last 8 weeks. We're going to have fun in the knit along, so do go and join us if you want to. Like I said, I can stick that in the first class post If you get it in the next few hours, then Nick's going to go down to the post office this afternoon. And like I said, also, if you want it today, then we can stick it in the first class post. We will go over to the post office tomorrow morning. Great. Thank you for being here. It has been an absolute joy. I'm with you there, Heather. And if you're watching the replay, #replay. Any questions as well, I'm quite happy to answer. And I will see you on Tuesday with the first tutorial for the knit along. And if you're in the knit along, you get it on Monday instead. Great. You know what I'm going to say. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now. Happy knitting.